HSA Standard 1, Indian Accounting Standard 1. So in today's class, let us learn what is Indian Accounting Standard. So this is the first standard. Before I start Standard 1, one thing I would like to tell you. The MCA given by the standard given by Ministry of Corporate Affairs along with Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the original draft PDF file is posted in the WhatsApp. There is nothing, no changes. Any changes, మార్పులు చేతులు ఒక అక్షరము అన్ని కావాలి. The original standard which is given by ICAI is posted in the WhatsApp group just for your reference. If you see standard 1 is 36 pages along with the appendix. Standard 2 or kaakunda per page. Depending upon the standard, the original standard along given by ICAI is posted in the WhatsApp group. The yesterday's PDF file what I have posted is for Unit 1. Unit 1 material. అదేంటంటే యూనిట్ 1 అని ఉండదు 4, 5, 6 ఏదో నంబర్ మారుతుంది అది వేరే ఎక్కడదో మెటీరియల్ ఇట్ హాస్ బీన్ పోస్టెడ్ బికాస్ యూఆర్ పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఐ థాట్ యూ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దాని లోపల ఉన్న కంటెంట్స్ చూసి దాని ప్రకారం దాంట్లో కొన్ని మీకు సిలబస్లో లేవు కూడా సో నిన్న అదే చెప్పాను మీకు సిలబస్లో ఉన్నది మీరు అంతా చిన్నపిల్లలు కాదు సిలబస్లో ఉన్నది చూసుకోండి దాని ప్రకారం నోట్స్ ప్రిపేర్ ఆల్ దోస్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా మీకు సిలబస్లో ఉన్న మెటీరియల్ దొరకదు మనమే క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి అంత పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ స్టూడెంట్స్ యూ కెన్ డూ ఇట్ ఆన్ యువర్ ఓన్ ఆ ఉద్దేశంతో ఐ జస్ట్ పోస్టెడ్ నోయింగ్ మోర్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ బెటర్ దెన్ నోయింగ్ లెస్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్తో ఎక్కువ మెటీరియల్ పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను అండ్ ఫర్ యూనిట్ 1 2 textbooks you can follow. One is Jawaharlal, the first one in your syllabus, Accounting Theory by Jawaharlal. ఒకటి రెండోది any advanced textbook like Jainan Naral, Naral Gupta, whatever. మీ దగ్గర ఏ అడ్వాన్స్ అకౌంట్ any advanced accounting textbooks ఎందుకంటే the first chapter is basic. Any advanced accountancy textbook will cover Unit 1. Unit 1 లేని accountancy textbook ఎక్కడ ఉంది. What is accounting? What are principles and conventions? What is accounting standard? International Accounting Standard Board, Indian Accounting Standard Board, standard setting process. Any basic accounting textbook will have. Even your BCom మీరు చదివిన book లో కూడా ఉంటుంది. It's just a repetition. ఆ last sentence మాత్రం ఉండదు. First we will learn all the standards, then we will learn the last sentence and open cover చేయాలి మిగతావన్నీ any textbook will have. The PDFs posted yesterday is regarding unit number 1. Today I have posted 2 PDFs for standard 1 today what we are going to discuss if we finish. Otherwise we will continue tomorrow and also standard 2 what we will discuss after this. And తర్వాత చూద్దాం standard 7. That is what it is. Based on that only you have to prepare your notes and also the classroom projects. And also if you see the syllabus, we will not learn all the standards in detail. If you see CA, CMA, CS in detail చదువుతాం కాకపోతే అన్ని 40-39 స్టాండర్డ్స్ ఉండదు అందుకనే ఒక సెమిస్టర్లో అన్ని కవర్ ఏదైతే కొన్ని ఉన్నాయో అవి కవర్ ఇన్ డీటెయిల్ కవర్ చేసే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది స్కోప్ దేర్ ఇస్ ద స్కోప్ ఆఫ్ లెర్నింగ్ the standards in detail. అందుకని మీ సిలబస్ లో చూసారంటే డీటెయిల్ ఉంటుంది ఓవర్ వ్యూ ఆఫ్ అకౌంటింగ్ స్టాండర్డ్ అని ఉంటుంది ఆల్ చాప్టర్స్ we are only learning the overview of all the 39 accounting standards మొత్తం డీటెయిల్ గా చదవాలంటే మనకు 2 సెమిస్టర్స్ కూడా సరిపోదు we require 4 semesters to complete all the 39 standards in detail. సో మనం డీటెయిల్ ఏం చదువు ఎంతవరకు ఇంపార్టెంట్ మీకు ఎంతవరకు అవసరమో అంతవరకు నేను చెప్తాను కొంచెం ఎక్కువ అటు ఇటు కేస్ స్టడీస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ చెప్తున్నాను సో దట్ యు అండర్స్టాండ్. So that is a disclaimer which I want to give before I start because when you see the standard you have 36 pages దాంట్లో అన్ని కవర్ అవ్వవు 1 hour class లో అన్ని కవర్ చేయడం 39 standards in one semester is humanly not possible to cover in detail. So that's the reason why the syllabus only gives you overview of accounting standards. అన్ని accounting standards లో సమ్మరీ లాగా overview చదువుకోవడమే మన సిలబస్ అంతవరకు ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఎగ్జామ్ లో రావు మనకి లేవు. So coming to standard number 1, the first standard is all about presentation of financial. So as I said you, when you are referring a textbook, Ind AS ఉండేటట్టు చూసుకోండి. Ind AS లేకుండా AS అని కూడా ఉంటుంది. Those are all old textbooks. అది ఇప్పుడు లేదు ఆ స్టాండర్డ్స్ మనకి ఇప్పుడు వర్తించదు. It has become outdated and actually we are not using those standards now. The Companies Act 2013 doesn't allow us to use that particular standard now. So we are using the converged IFRS converged Ind AS now. So textbook connect up to them. Online when you are referring any material for accounting standards, check that you are referring the Ind AS convert the IFRS standard. That is point number one. And also the Ind AS PDF file is posted in the WhatsApp group. And 100% of the standard is what I have posted. దాని నుంచి మీరు ఎట్లా notes prepare చేసుకుంటారో చూసుకోండి. And as I told you, when we have learned what are the functions, what are the features of accounting standards, simple: no? Recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure of events and transactions is what accounting standard is. The definition we have learned yesterday. So on that particular basis, first standard lo RMPD రాదు. Recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure ఏమీ లేదు. It's only about how do you present your financial statement, what are the contents of your financial statement. ఒక financial statement prepare చేసినప్పుడు ఏమేమి ఉండాలనేది స్టాండర్డ్ నెంబర్ 1. సో రికగ్నిషన్, మెజర్మెంట్ అనేది ఏమి స్టాండర్డ్ 1 లో రాదు. Also for you to understand standard number 1, I have posted one just a small financial statements of some company, I don't remember, some company, Infosys. So I have posted one financial statement that is an original real financial statement which Infosys has prepared 22-23 or 22-24 అయి ఉంటుంది. 24 అయి ఉంటుంది ఎందుకంటే మనం 24లో ఉన్నాం కాబట్టి 22-23 అయి ఉంటుంది. సో ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ రియల్, మనం ఎగ్జామ్లో చేసేది కాకుండా ఇన్ రియల్ విచ్ అ కంపెనీ ప్రిపేర్. అది చూసారంటే వాట్ ఆర్ ద కంటెంట్స్, యాక్చువల్లీ ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, దాంట్లో ఏమేమి ఐటమ్స్ వచ్చాయి అనేది తెలుస్తుంది. స్టాండర్డ్ 1లో కూడా మనం అదే చదువుతున్నాం అనమాట. సో వన్స్ యూ ఫినిష్ learning standard 1, just browse, just for sake of time pass, 5 minutes you just browse. 50 pages ఉంటుంది. See how in real a financial statement is prepared. So standard 1 is all about presentation of financial statement. Because this is the first standard, any standard will start with any standard, అన్ని 39 standards, all standards will start with an objective. Tarvata the standard will tell you what is the scope, ante dani paridenti, what is the scope of that particular standard. Then few definitions which is related to that particular standard will be given. Dan tarvata standard batti recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure. This is how the format of a standard will be. Now coming to Indian Accounting Standard 1, what are its objective? Objective in the simple terms, what is the reason? Why are we preparing, or what is the necessity or need of Indian Accounting Standard 1 is objective. So why should we have Indian Accounting Standard 1? Green learner importance. Presentation of general purpose financial statements. What is this general purpose financial statement? We are preparing a financial purpose for all the users or for all the stakeholders in general for any decision making purpose. Ante we are not preparing a financial statement for a specific reason, for a specific stakeholder, for a specific decision. That is a specific financial statement. When a company is preparing a financial statement as per Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, it is meant for all the stakeholders or all the users of accounting information, or all those who want to use my financial statement for whatever purpose or requirement or need is. So that is the reason why we have written here presentation of general purpose financial. It is general, it is common. You are preparing a financial statement which tells you what is the financial performance and what is the financial position. Along with that, it will tell many things we will learn in the next slide. So for everybody in general, that is, you are not preparing a financial statement specifically for a specific reason, specifically for a specific user. Common financial statement, whatever information you want from that financial statement only you take, and take decisions, is what general financial statement is. So this standard prescribes the basis of presentation of general, not specific. General purpose financial statement ఎందుకు ఇంత మనం వారం 10 రోజులు చదవడానికి. You are preparing a financial statement one for two purpose. One, to compare between yourself and outsiders. Otherwise we will use compare inside outside. What is this inside outside? If you have seen the Infosys financial statement, or if you have seen any time the real financial statement, the financial statements are always for 2 years, 2 consecutive years, Ali. 2 consecutive years, not any 2021 and 2025 along with 2 consecutive, one previous year and one current year. Always the balance sheet, real balance sheet, మనం exam లో చేసే balance sheet కాకుండా the real balance sheet, or you can check the Infosys balance sheet also, it will be always for the 2 so you are preparing a general purpose financial statement, one to compare between me inside last year and current year, so that what is the performance or position last year and what is the performance and position this year I can compare. One, two outsiders. When my financial statements are uniform and consistent, only then I can compare. As I told you earlier, I'll give a standard 1 as syllabus. I'll give a standard 109 as syllabus. So 101 is comparatively easier than 109. I don't tell it is 100% easy, but if you compare 10, not 101, or 101 also you can compare. That is also very easy because first time adoption of financial statement, chinna standard is not the complication. I give her 101 and I give her 109. I cannot compare. I cannot tell she is good in accounting standard, she is bad, because I am comparing two uncommon things. Isn't it? So that's the reason why, in order to have comparability between outsiders, so that I compare with others what my performance or what my position is, for decision making purpose it may be, for investment purpose it may be, or for whatever purpose it may be, I prepare a financial statement. I call it as a general purpose financial statement. General purpose financial statement is a financial statement which I prepare common, in general, for everyone, not for a specific reason or a purpose or for a user. So this standard prescribes the basis for presentation of general purpose financial statement to ensure one, comparability, both with the entity's financial statement within, inside 2 consecutive years, previous year, current year, and with the financial statement of other entities. So graph financial statement, insiders, outsiders. So inside, outside, within, other entities, within the entity, outside the entity. Then you can use whatever word you want. So that is what is the definition or objective of the first Indian accounting standards. It sets out overall requirements. I should know, no, I'm preparing the financial statement. Let us suppose we are all different companies, 40 companies. So when we 40 companies are preparing the financial statement, all the financial statements should be uniform, should be consistent, should be comparable. She will prepare on her own line, she will prepare on her own. Then what is uniformity, what is consistency, what is comparability? How will I compare? How will I tell my financial performance is better than her financial performance? How will I, as a stakeholder, take a decision? So that's the reason why it sets out overall requirements. Commonly, everybody, you all prepare your financial statement on this line. What line? The standard is telling. So in order to have overall presentation of a financial statement in a uniform way, standard 1 is drafted. And it sets out overall requirements for the presentation of financial statement, guidelines for their structure. How should it be? Like if you have seen the Infosys financial statement, it is again Companies Act, Companies Act, India Law Companies Act will always play a major role in the financial statement. Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, earlier it was 1956. Now it is Companies Act 2013. Schedule 3 will give you the format as to how to prepare the financial statement. So you as a company has no choice. You have to prepare your financial statement as per that schedule only. The format given in that particular schedule. Tomorrow when we learn Indian Accounting Standard 7, 7 also gives you how to prepare a cash flow statement, the format. Now, you have to prepare your cash flow statement as per the format given only. Numbers can change as per your company, but the format will not change. Similarly, your financial statements, whatever financial statements you prepare, మీకు ఇప్పుడు దాకా తెలిసింది రెండు ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ లాస్ అకౌంట్ అండ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ should be as per the format only. So financial statement guidelines, that is what is structure, how it should be. If you have seen the Infosys financial statement, the balance sheet asset side is divided into two, current and non-current assets, or non-current assets and current assets, whatever you can call. And liabilities is divided into three: equity,
funds, non-current liabilities, current liabilities.
I think ఒకటి extra equity వస్తుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ ద ఫార్మాట్ ఇస్. సో అందరు ఎవరు మనం 40 మంది ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసిన అదే ఫార్మాట్. దాని లోపల ఐటమ్స్ నా కంపెనీ కొద్ది మారుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో లోపల ఏంటనేది ఎవ్రీథింగ్ హ్యాస్ అ స్టాండర్డ్. How should an asset be? How should a liability be? Intangible asset, etc., etc., etc. Different standards. And minimum requirements for their content. Minimum requirements for the content. So what should be the content of a financial statement? Also standard 1 is telling. In order to maintain uniform. First thing we have understood, the objective lo rendu arthamaindi. One, requirement of a financial statement. One is within the organization in order to have comparison, previous year, current year. Second, between other entities, to have comparison between other entities, A company and B company, or B company and C company, or A company and C company. That's the reason why financial statement standard 1. Second, it tells us the contents, procedure, format, or structure, or all put together, as to how a financial statement should be. So this is why first Indian Accounting Standard 1. All 39 standards, the first paragraph will be objectives only. If you see, the objectives will tell you what will be inside, why that particular standard has been formulated. A standard enduku vartistado denikosam, for what that particular standard has been developed is what the objective is. It is the heart of that particular standard. దీంట్లో ఉన్నదే లోపల కంటెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఇస్ స్టాండర్డ్ 1. సో స్టాండర్డ్ 1 డెఫినేషన్ లో ఒకటి ఉంది కదా, జనరల్ పర్పస్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ డెఫినేషన్ గివెన్ ఇన్ ఇండియన్ అకౌంటింగ్ స్టాండర్డ్ 1. వాట్ ఈస్ అ జనరల్ పర్పస్ financial statement? So general purpose financial statement, normally we do not call a pratisari manam general purpose financial statement, general purpose, and we normally use it as financial statements. So wherever we are using the word financial statement in accounting or in Indian accounting standard, it means a general purpose financial statement only, not a specific purpose financial statement unless you mention it as specific, for a specific reason. For example, Usmania fan company. So Usmania fan company, let us suppose we are doing good business. Now all of you all are my accountants or managers looking into my fund. So you people tell, now Diwali festival is coming and we have so much of money. Over and above fan, let us also start AC business, air conditioner business. So I want to start a new business, air conditioner business. So I call my accountant. I tell her, prepare an interim financial reporting to tell what is my financial position. Can I start a new business? Do I have money? So she will prepare a specific financial statement only for this particular decision making. So wherever I use specific, it means for a specific purpose. So whenever we're using the word financial statement, it is always general purpose financial statement, prepared generally for all the users of accounting information. So what is this general purpose financial statement? Referred to as a financial statement are those intended to meet the needs of users. Who are those users? Users of accounting information. It may be researchers like you, investors,
Customers.
prospective investors, customers, employees, shareholders, prospective shareholders, government, tax authorities, employees, customers, ఏదైనా మిస్ అయితే వాళ్ళందరూ. Then need of users who are not in a position to require an entity to prepare reports tailored. Tailored is customized. You are preparing for a specific purpose. You are preparing for a specific cause. You are preparing for a specific user. So general purpose is not tailored. It is not customized. It is common. What I am preparing as per the events and transactions which has happened in that particular accounting year. So events and transactions which has occurred in that particular year, I recognize, I measure, I present, and I disclose. I consolidate and I prepare a condensed, what you call, balance sheet, which tells the financial position, profit and loss account, which tells the financial performance. దీంతో పాటు చాలా చేస్తాం, which will come in the next slide. So that is what is general purpose financial statement. So what is general purpose financial statement? Normally referred as financial statement are those intended to meet the needs of users, all users who are not in a position, like I as a creditor, I as an investor, I as a government, I as a tax authority, I as a prospective investor, I cannot prepare my own financial statement, isn't it? So not in a position to require an entity to prepare reports tailored to their particular information needs. In simple terms, this is the definition given by Indian Accounting Standard 1. In simple terms, as laymen who do not know standard much, you can tell general purpose financial statements are those financial statements prepared in general, in common for all the users of accounting information. This is the definition given by standard 1. Now, what are the objectives of financial statement? First slide was objective of the standard. Indian accounting standard ఎందుకు అనేది first. This is objective of financial statement. So why do we prepare the financial statement? These are the three main objectives. One is position. Financial position లో ఏమొచ్చింది? Equity, asset and if you want you can divide equity, current asset and non-current asset, current liability and non-current liability అని కూడా 5 ముక్కలు రాయొచ్చు. స్లైడ్ చిన్నగా ఉంటే బాగుంటుందని ఈక్విటీ అసెట్ అండ్ లయబిలిటీ పెట్టాను. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ యూ కెన్ రైట్ ఈక్విటీ, కరెంట్ అసెట్ అండ్ నాన్ కరెంట్ అసెట్, current liability and non. So basically this should, the financial statement should have. Next is financial performance is profit and loss account, and as I told you, whenever we are using the word profit and loss account, we start with manufacturing, trading, profit and loss account, and profit and loss appropriation account. This profit and loss appropriation account can also be called as statement of equity. Now the nomenclature have changed, they call it as OCI. We'll talk about this in detail. Other comprehensive income. If you are used to this accounting language, you might have heard OCI. Similar, it is nothing but other comprehensive income. So statement of equity tells you what are the other comprehensive income we will learn. So okay, financial position, asset, all asset, current and non-current, liability, current and non-current, also owner's fund, equity. Then financial performance, income, expenses, same profit and loss account, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. And I told you the difference between expense and losses, incomes and gains. I told you, remember? These two difference I told you some 2-3 days back. I gave you an example of this furniture also. I repeat. Incomes, let us suppose my main business is fan. Any expense I incur in order to convert my raw material into finished goods and sell it is what is expense. Anything what I get by selling the final finished good. Manufacturing and selling fans is my main business activity. Now I also diversified into air conditioning. ఇప్పుడు enter అయినాం కదా. So any expenses incurred to manufacture the ACs, raw material to finished goods, is expense. Anything which I get inflow by selling air conditioners is
Incomes.
in expense. Income, expense. So manufacturing fans and manufacturing air conditioners are my main business. So income, inflow is income, outflow is expense. Now the Father Saman ఉంది. Father Saman ఎందుకు? ఇప్పుడు now smart TV has come. Now there is no requirement for LCD. Until last semester we used this LCD. Before the LCD they were OHPs. The sheet పెట్టి project చేసేది. Then later on, since past 15-20 years, we are using this LCDs. 15 years ago. Now we have upgraded to a smart board. The LCD lani em cheyali? 4 unnai. So I am selling my LCDs second hand. There may be few colleges who don't have a smart board. They are still using LCDs. So 10,000 each. My business is fan business. In my boardroom also, I removed LCD. I kept this smart board for presentations. I have 4 LCDs. I'm selling my LCD 10,000 each. I got 40,000. My book value of the LCD is 30,000. Carrying amount. So I made a profit or loss? Profit. Profit, huh? Book value is 30,000. I am selling it for 40,000. So this difference of 10,000 is called as gain. Why not income? Ante, as simple as any inflow. ఎందుకంటే my books of accounts లో 40 కాదు కదమ్మా. I will prepare my account, that asset account. అంతే కదా. I should prepare my asset account. When I prepare my asset account will always have a debit balance, opening, closing, naturally opposite side. Any increase in the asset will come on the debit side. Any decrease in the asset will come on the opposite side, credit side. So the sale also will come on the credit side. So loss or gain, depending upon the situation, I will write. So any inflow through which I get, which is not my main business activity. I have 10,000 shares. I got interest or dividend. So anything, any inflow or any outflow, which is not my main, it can be ulta also. Value may be 40,000, you may get 30,000. So that is what is loss. Loss on gain on, loss on sale of asset. Gain on sale of assets. Loss on sale of investment. Gain on sale of investment, etc., etc., etc. We don't call it as income or expenses. So that is the difference what you have between income. That is the difference you have between వెనక్కి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? ఈ ఆరో ఇవాళ నిన్న కనిపించింది ఇక్కడ
ఇటు సైడ్ చూడండి మేడం, ఇక్కడ కూడా
ఇటు సైడ్ ఆరో ఇటు ఆరో మారిపోయింది. ముందుకెళ్తుందా వెనక్కి? కరెక్ట్ వచ్చింది. ఆరో నిన్న అటు వాటర్. So that is the difference between income, gains, expenses and losses. So objectives of financial statement is financial position, asset, liability, equity, or non-current asset, non-current liability, current liability and equity. You will learn what all these are now in next slide. Current asset ante enti, non-current asset ante enti. Standard 1 is చెప్తుంది మనకి. How do you define a current asset? How do you define a non-current asset? And the solution, standard 1 only will give you, no other standard will tell. So financial performance, what is income, expenses, gains and losses, also cash flow. Next slide వస్తే మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. When I'm telling a complete set of financial statement, there are 6 important items you will learn. దాంట్లో cash flow కూడా వస్తుంది. As of now, you remember what cash flow is. Now you know what a cash flow is, isn't it? Which tells us the inflow and outflow of cash. Now cash flow వచ్చింది కాబట్టి when we are preparing the profit and loss account, financial performance, then why are you preparing a cash flow statement? Only you are preparing a balance sheet, financial position. Then why should you prepare a cash flow statement? Indian Accounting Standard 7 ఎందుకు తీసేయచ్చు? You are preparing a profit and loss account చేస్తున్నారా? You are preparing a balance sheet also, position performance. ఈ రెండు ఫైనాన్షియల్ పొజిషన్ లేకపోతే మన భాషలో ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ లాస్ అకౌంట్ అండ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ ఉండగా, when there is a profit and loss account and when there is a balance sheet, then why are you preparing a cash flow statement?
Cash flow only cash ఉంటుంది మేడం. ఇక్కడ cash flow credit both ఉంటుంది.
Correct. ఒకటి one is accrual system of accounting. So cash and credit ఉంటుంది. Cash లో ఒకటి cash ఉంటుంది. Very good. ఇంకా
To know the cash position of that particular entity.
what is the inflow? Like for example, I ask my accountant, how much of inflow of funds or cash in this accounting period, 24-25 or 23-24, whatever. Inflow ఎంత వచ్చింది, అవుట్ఫ్లో ఎంత వెళ్ళిందంటే బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ కానీ ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ లాస్ అకౌంట్లో ఆన్సర్ లేదు. బికాస్ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ నేను పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచి పొజిషన్ చెప్తుంది. 107 years old story it is telling. Usman is 107. So since 107, what is the situation? Balance sheet is. The profit and loss account, as she very rightly said, it is telling this 12-month story. చెప్తుంది పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచి చెప్పట్లేదు, 107 ఏళ్ళ హిస్టరీ చెప్పట్లేదు, ఈ సంవత్సరంలో చెప్తుంది, 1 year only. But it is accrual system of accounting. Whatever is there in the balance sheet is not the exact inflow and exact outflow. కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి ఉత్తునే వేస్తున్నాం. డిప్రిసియేషన్, మొన్న మనం డిస్కస్ చేసిన డిఫర్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్, అట్లా చాలా ఐటమ్స్ వస్తాయి. వేర్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో రియల్ క్యాష్ అవుట్ఫ్లో ఆర్ నో రియల్ క్యాష్ ఇన్ఫ్లో. ఇందాక మనం చెప్తున్న గెయిన్స్ లాసెస్ రియల్గా ఏం రావట్లేదు. అసెట్ని అసెట్ అకౌంట్ క్లోజ్ చేయాలి కాబట్టి లాస్ గెయిన్ వస్తుంది. సో ఆల్ సచ్ థింగ్స్ are there in the profit and loss account where you cannot exactly tell it is the real inflow or outflow. So that's the reason why for me I'll have curiosity, isn't it? This year, what is the real inflow and real outflow of cash and cash equivalents? I also prepare a cash flow statement. We will think of in future slides. Now what is అప్పుడు దాకా స్టాండర్డ్ కంప్లీట్ సెట్ అంటున్నాం కదా. జనరల్ పర్పస్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ యూనిఫామ్ ఉండాలి, ఒక కంప్లీట్ సెట్ ఉండాలి. వాట్ ఈస్ ద డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ కంప్లీట్ సెట్? దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ అ కంప్లీట్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇస్. అందరూ ఆల్ 40 కంపెనీస్, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కంపెనీస్ 40 లేవు, మనం 40 అని మన ఉద్దేశం. సో ఆల్ ఆఫ్ us should prepare on the same line. What lines? Give it 6 points. These 6 put together is a complete set of financial statements. What are those 6? 1, a balance sheet at the end of the period, financial position. Second, a statement of first balance sheet, financial position. Second, profit and loss account, financial performance. Continuation with balance sheet. If you see the Infosys balance sheet, a balance sheet లోనే ఒక పార్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ చేంజెస్ ఇన్ ఈక్విటీ ఉంటుంది. సో స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ చేంజెస్ ఇన్ ఈక్విటీ విచ్ టెల్స్ us the pluses and minuses, additions and subtractions what you make to your equity. సపరేట్ గా చూపిస్తాం స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఈక్విటీ, ఎందుకంటే ఓనర్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ కదా మనకి, అందుకని. సో 1, balance sheet. 2, profit and loss account. Continuation of balance sheet, statement of changes in equity. Third, all notes. In the footnotes, మీరు ఆ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ చూసిందంటే బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ 1-2 పేజీలు ఉంటుంది, నోట్స్ 15-20 పేజీలు ఉంటుంది. All those are disclosures what we are going to learn in the next standard. Standard 2, inventory. What you have to disclose, standard is telling. So all those accounting policies and disclosures, whatever you have to make, is also part of a financial statement. The last one is ఇది మిస్ అయినా మనం క్యాష్ ఫ్లో స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇందాక మూడు చదువుకున్నాం కదా. One is balance sheet, financial position, profit and loss account, financial performance, and also cash flow statement. The three main objectives of financial statement. So first one balance sheet, second one is statement of profit and loss account, third one continuation of balance sheet, statement of changes in equity, fourth one is a statement of cash flow statement. So you as a company, you have no choice. ఇష్టముంటే బ్యాలెన్స్ ఇష్టముంటే క్యాష్ ఫ్లో చేస్తా అంటే కుదరదు. యాజ్ పర్ ఇండియన్ అకౌంటింగ్ స్టాండర్డ్ 7 cash flow statement is mandatory. How to prepare a cash flow statement? Standard 7 will give you the format. Then comes all notes. మీరు జస్ట్ ఇంటికి వెళ్ళి ఇన్ఫోసిస్ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ చూడండి, 2 పేజీల బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్కి 15, 20, 30 పేజీల నోట్స్ ఉంటుంది. వాట్ ఆర్ ద అకౌంటింగ్ పాలసీస్, అకౌంటింగ్ ఎస్టిమేట్స్ అండ్ అదర్ relevant explanatory notes for each and every item, each and every line item which appears in the balance sheet. Lastly, as I told you, the main objective is comparability within current year and previous year, comparability with other entities. So, అందుకని always a financial statement will have 2 years, previous year and current year. So, complete set of balance sheets ante all these 6 items will come. A complete set of balance sheet given by Indian Accounting Standard 1. What is a complete set ante all these 6 items? Balance sheet, profit and loss account, statement of changes in equity. The statement of changes in equity is part of balance sheet only. Then cash flow statement, notes to accounts, or all the extra information. Otherwise, in simple term, notes to accounts and all the notes to accounts. Lastly, comparative statement or comparative information in respect of the preceding year, immediate preceding year. These are a complete. So, as per Indian Accounting Standard 1, ఈ 6 ఉండాలి. Balance sheet, profit and loss account, statement of changes in equity, cash flow statement, notes to accounts. Finally, comparison between the preceding years. So this is what is a complete set of financial statements. Now you have been hearing this word, no? True and fair, true and fair, true and fair since past 5 years. So what is this true and fair? Also standard 1 will tell. Normally, whenever somebody asks you to define a balance sheet, you will tell a balance sheet is a statement which gives you true and fair picture of the financial statement. This is what the simple one line lo cheppandante true and fair vastundi. So that is what is true and fair present. What is this true and fair presentation? Shall present a true and fair view of what మూడు మన ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్ చదువుతున్నాం కదా. Objectives of financial statement. Mood enti? Financial performance, financial position, and cash flow. Now we know the difference between financial performance and cash flow. Financial performance is based on accrual system. So, unna lekapayina konni few items are debited and credited vachina raakapoyina. So, avanni pakkana petti a cash flow statement of an entity. Ayipindi percentage clear kada? Everybody clear with the percentage? Next. Presentation. So this standard is only about presentation. There is no recognition measurement in the standard 1. We are only talking about how do you present a financial statement. What should be the contents of the financial statement? Those 6. So presentation of true and fair value requires what? Faithful representation of rendu, events and transactions. Like somebody asks you what is the definition of accounting standard, also I told you the easiest way of remembering. Recognition of events and transaction, measurement of events and transaction, RMPD, presentation of events and transaction, and disclosure requirements of the effects of transactions and conditions in accordance with what? Definitions and recognition criteria. All assets, all items which appear in the balance sheet, wherever required, standards are given. How to recognize, how to measure, how to present, how to disclose. Like the next standard, inventory. Now you'll have a doubt. అసలు ఇన్వెంటరీ అంటే ఏంటి, దేని ఇన్వెంటరీ అంటారు? స్టాండర్డ్ విల్ టెల్. ఓకే, ఓహో దీన్ని ఇన్వెంటరీ అంటారు. ఓకే, వెరీ నైస్. హౌ డు ఐ మెజర్, హౌ డు ఐ ప్రెజెంట్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ద స్టాండర్డ్ ఇస్ గివెన్. So that is what it is. Definitions and recognition criteria of assets, liabilities and incomes and expenses set out in that particular accounting standard framework. All the standards what we are going to learn in the syllabus, or what ICAI in collaboration with NCA has given. The application of Ind AS with additional disclosure when necessary is presumed to result in financial statements that present a true and fair picture. So, a true and fair picture continuation. Now, what are the general features of a financial statement? ఏమేమి ఉండాలి financial statement లో? Given that. What is that? The first one is
True and fair presentation.
what is this true and fair presentation? The earlier slide told, which follows the guidelines, the recognition and measurement criteria given as per the Indian accounting standard when you are preparing the financial statement. Also, even ఈ మూడైతే మనం చదువుకున్నాం కదా ఆల్రెడీ.
Yes.
Like sometimes they may ask you what are the three basic principles on which Indian accounting standard 1 is developed. Sometimes a short answer may come. What are the three important principles on which Indian accounting standard is constructed, built, written, drafted? These are the three important principles. Going concern,
Accrual basis.
approval concept or accrual basis. These are the three important accounting principles, the foundation based on which standard 1 has been drafted, written, explained, whatever. So going concern we know, isn't it? తెలుసు కదా going concern concept. నెక్స్ట్ ఇందాకనే అనుకున్నాం కదా అక్రూవల్ రెండు మూడు సార్లు ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ తో కూడా చదువుతున్నాం. నౌ యు ఆర్ క్లియర్ విత్ అక్రూవల్ బేసిస్ ఆఫ్ అకౌంటింగ్.
Yes.
The next one is materiality. You know what materiality is? Only those information which is material, which has an influence on the decision making, should be taken into consideration. మొన్న ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పు, 10 రూపాయలు లాస్ వచ్చింది. సో అదే అకౌంటింగ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ కూడా చూపించాల్సి వస్తుంది. లాస్ కదా చూపించాలి కదా అని అవసరం. 10 కోట్లు లాస్ వచ్చింది. సో it has an impact on the decision making, isn't it? The loss of 10 crores. So that should be shown in the balance sheet, like notes to accounts. Or if you want notes to account గా నిజంగానే లాస్ వచ్చింది అనుకుంటే రియల్ లాస్, కంటింజెంట్ లయబిలిటీ కాదు, కంటింజెంట్ అసెట్ కాదన్నప్పుడు ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ లోనే వస్తుంది. యాజ్ పర్ ది సిచ్యువేషన్. సో మెటీరియల్. సో వన్ ఇస్ true and fair presentation. Second one is going concern. Third one is accrual concept. Fourth one is materiality. Coming to the fifth one, frequency of reporting is nothing but the accounting period concept, what you have learned. Normally, the financial statement is prepared for 12 months. The accounting period concept. What she did is she started a company in the month of January. Then February. ఏమంటది ఈ 2 నెలలకి why should I prepare my financial statement? I'll prepare 15 months. So if you feel it is justifiable, if you are preparing it for 15 months, prepare, but justify why you have prepared and tell that this financial statement is not comparable. Because if somebody wants to compare, it cannot compare because their financial statement is 12 months, your financial statement is for 15 months. So normally a financial statement is prepared for 12 months. If you are preparing for period less or more, you have to justify why your period is less and why your period is more. In very rare cases, normally 100 out of 100, it is always 12 months only. But 12 months అంటారు కదా, I want to prepare for 13 months, I want to prepare for 11 months అంటే the standard చేయొద్దు అని చెప్పట్లేదు. ఖచ్చితంగా కళాఖండిగా it is not telling do not do. It tells do. But you justify You tell me the reason, and also you mention in your financial statement, the notes to accounts, that this financial statement is not comparable because it is not for a period of 12 months. Next, this consistency. The presentation should be consistent in finance. That is the foundation of standard one. And then the internal comparison, external comparison within the organization and with the other entities. Only when there is finance. The last one is offsetting. What is this offsetting? An entity shall not offset assets and liabilities of incomes and expenses. Like for example, I have given bills receivable and bills payable. For this bills receivable and bills payable, you have provisions. Provision for bad and doubtful. So అది రాకపోతే ఏం చేస్తారు? Offset. ఎందుకంటే అది 5%, 6%, 2%, 3% రాదనే ఉద్దేశంతోనే మీరు ప్రొవిజన్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటారు. You are creating a provision assuming that at least 1%, 2%, 3% or 5%, whatever your percentage is, all year అనే కదా. Credit purchases, credit not purchases అంటే మీరే ఇయ్యాలి. Credit sales కే కదా వస్తుంది. So when you are selling some amount or you are selling goods on credit, cash sales immediately you get. Credit sales, you are taking that risk, no? They will or they may not pay. There is a probability that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% will not pay. That's the reason why you are keeping provision for bad and loss. సో అలాంటప్పుడు ఆఫ్సెట్ చేయొచ్చు, క్యాన్సిల్ చేయొచ్చు. కానీ ఏదో అసెట్ ఉంది, ఏదో లైబిలిటీ ఉంది, ఇది రాదు అని సఫాలను క్యాన్సిల్ చేయడానికి లేదు. యూ కెనాట్ ఆఫ్సెట్ ఎనీ అసెట్ అండ్ లైబిలిటీ. Provision for bad and doubtful debts, all these things does not come under offset. So an entity shall not offset asset and liability or income and expenses unless required, or if sometimes few standards will give you permission. అది మనం స్టాండర్డ్ చదివేటప్పుడు తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. Few standard will give you permission to offset the asset, liability or income and expense. Like revenue recognition or revenue from with contract with customers, standard 115 will give you few instances where you can offset expenses and income. So if based on that particular standard, if standard is giving you permission to offset, that is well and good. Otherwise, you yourself as an accountant cannot offset any asset, liability, income and expenses. Provision for bad debts on bills receivable or payable does not come under this offset because the standard only is giving you to offset. So ఎట్లుండాలి స్ట్రక్చర్? Objective, one of the objective is to give you the contents, also to give you what is the structure of the financial statement, isn't it? Standard one. So as notified by MCA's Ministry of Corporate Affairs on 6th April 2016, in simple terms, Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. మనం ఇండియాలో ఫాలో అయ్యేది, ఇన్ ఇండియా we follow what is the structure? We follow the structure given by the Companies Act Schedule 3, Companies Act 2013, Schedule 3. Second sentence ఏముందా చదువుకున్నాం? The complete set of financial statements. All entities shall prepare the financial statement with a complete set of financial statement. What is the complete set? Balance sheet, profit and loss account, statement of changes in equity, cash flow statement, notes to accounts, and comparative statement between the preceding. So this is what is the structure and content of financial statement. What structure you have to follow? Structure given by the MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which the Companies Act approved by the Companies Act 2013, Schedule 3. మళ్ళీ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ ఎట్లా ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలని ఒక్కొక్కసారి డౌట్ రావచ్చు కదా. షెడ్యూల్ 3 ఆఫ్ ద కంపెనీస్ యాక్ట్ 2013, షెడ్యూల్ 3 ఆఫ్ ద కంపెనీస్ యాక్ట్ 2013. దిస్ ఇస్ ద బ్రాడ్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ అసెట్స్ అండ్ బ్రాడ్. మళ్ళీ దీంట్లో చాలా లైన్ ఐటమ్స్ చాలా వస్తాయి. ఆ లైన్ ఐటమ్స్ కొరకు షెడ్యూల్ 3 ఆఫ్ ద కంపెనీస్ యాక్ట్ 2013 ఒకసారి రెఫర్ చేయొచ్చు. Also, if you can refer the Infosys balance sheet, which is as per the Schedule 3 of the company. These are the broad classifications. దాంట్లో ఏమేమి ఉండాలి మీరంతా భయంకరంగా బ్రెయిన్లో పెట్టుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. when you read the standards, no, automatically you will remember. Now at this particular moment of time, అమ్మ ఇన్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలా అని టెన్షన్ వస్తుంది. ఏం టెన్షన్ పడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, because if you see each one has a standard. What is plant, property and equipment?
16.
Investment property. Investment property
40.
Intangible assets
38.
Financial asset 109. 107 32. Okati recognition and measurement, one is presentation, one is this. All financial assets and financial liabilities will come under financial instruments. 32 financial instruments presentation, 107 financial instruments disclosure, 109 financial instruments recognition and measurement. Investments accounted for using the equity method. Again, investments also comes under standard 40. Mali, there are too many. Equity method is not 40 actually. You have investments in associates and joint venture, many different things you will learn in detail. Then comes biological assets 41. But already last estimate, biological assets, nothing but agriculture. Inventory is 2. Trade and other receivables, cash and cash equivalents, all these cash and cash equivalents will come in cash flow statement. Trade and trade receivables are current assets. What is a current asset? We will learn in the next slide. So, all these are basic things you need not worry about. In continuation, non-current asset 105. Trade and other payables, all assets. These are all assets. These are all liabilities. This is just a sample. This is not this. These two slides is not everything which is there in asset, and this slide doesn't give you everything which is there in liability. Just a sample for you to remember. Minimum items which will be there on the asset side, minimum items which will be there on the liability. Now, what a current asset is? Standard 1 ఏ చెప్తుంది మన current asset ఏంటనేది. Standard 1 only will tell us, define as to what a current asset is. The entity shall classify an asset or as current. The green one is important. When any one of the following criteria is satisfied. నిన్న చెప్తున్నట్టే 1 year asset కాబట్టి రావాలి మనకి, which we should receive. Asset కాబట్టి రావాలి, liability అయితే pay చేయాలి, which you should receive within 12 months. మీరే ఆన్సర్ ఇచ్చింది కదా, 12 months. And continuation I told you within one accounting cycle. మేము చదువుకునేటప్పుడు టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్లో అకౌంటింగ్ సైకిల్ అని ఉండేది. నౌ యాజ్ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ నో స్లైట్లీ ద నామన్క్లేచర్. ఇప్పుడు ఓసిఐ, అదర్ కాంప్రిహెన్సివ్ ఇన్కమ్ అంటూ మేము చదువుతాం, ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ లాస్, ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిట్ అట్లా లేదు. సో నౌ ద స్లైట్లీ యాజ్ పర్ ద స్టాండర్డ్, ద నామన్క్లేచర్, ద వర్డ్స్ వాట్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఇస్ changing. So as per the changed, we are calling it as operating cycle. What is an operating cycle? Buying a raw material, converting the raw material into work in progress, converting into finished goods you are selling. Selling, if it is cash, you get money immediately. If it is credit, you will get after 2 months, 3 months. All put together is an operating cycle. So if you are, for example, manufacturing fans and the time battadi gani, let us suppose you are manufacturing AC ku anta time battadi. Let us suppose Usmania fan AC but still we have money. My accountant tells, "Ee machinery tayar chedam madam manchiga untadani." Okay, that's all done. Now what is the operating cycle of this machinery? Calculate and cheptanu. So she will calculate operating cycle. To manufacture the machinery, it will take 8 months, madam. కానీ అది ఒక కస్టమర్, అది ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్ మెషినరీ, ఎవరు వారి ఫ్యాన్లు కొన్నట్టు కొన్నారు. ఇది ఓన్లీ స్పెసిఫిక్ పర్పస్ దిస్ మెషినరీ ఇస్ యూజ్. On an average, it will take 6 months to sell and get money. 4 నెలలు అమ్మనికి పడుతుంది, క్రెడిట్లో తీసుకుంటే 2 నెలలు రీచనికి పడుతుంది. సో ఆన్ ద హోల్ ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ 6 months. So now the operating cycle is how much? 8 months plus 4 months plus 2 months. ఎన్నైనాయి? 14 months. 8 months to manufacture, 4 months to get a customer. ఆ కస్టమర్స్ మళ్ళీ 2 నెలలు నాకు పేమెంట్ ఇయ్యని. So my operating cycle is 8 months plus 4 months plus 2 months. So in that particular case, let us suppose the cost of that machinery is 1 lakh rupees or 1 crore rupees, whatever. That can be treated as a current liability, even though you get the money after ఎంత months? 14 months. 12 months మీరు ఏమంటున్నారు? 12 months, 1 year అనుకుంటున్నాము. So it need not be 1 year all the time. Fans 1 day లో అయిపోతుంది, 1 day లో 1,00,000 ఫ్యాన్లు మ్యాన్. సో దాని అమ్మనీకో 2 నెలలు 3 నెలలు. సో ఆపరేటింగ్ సైకిల్ విల్ బి 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. This is a special machinery. Manufacturing 8 months, catching a customer is 4 months, getting the money back 2 months. సో ఖచ్చితంగా కరెంట్ అసెట్, కరెంట్ లయబిలిటీ అంటే విదిన్ అ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ 12 months అనేది ఇప్పుడు పీజీలో తీసేయాలి మైండ్ వచ్చి. అంటిల్ బీకామ్ 12 months డెఫినేషన్ మంచిగా ఉంది. దాని ప్రకారం కరెంట్ అసెట్, కరెంట్ లయబిలిటీ డివైడ్ చేయడం మంచిగా ఉంది. బట్ వెన్ వీ కమ్ టు పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్, ఖచ్చితంగా ఇదే కరెంట్ అసెట్ 12 months లోపు ఇస్తేనే కరెంట్ అసెట్, 12 months 1 day అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి నాన్ కరెంట్ అసెట్ అనడానికి లేదు. వాట్ ఈస్ ద నేచర్ ఆఫ్ ద ట్రాన్సాక్షన్? What is your operating cycle for that particular product will decide or define whether it is a current or a non-current asset. Am I clear now? For that, I'll show you an example. Before we go to the example, let us read all those points. 1. Any one. ఇదొకటి. Whichever is higher అని చెప్పిన కదా. In simple terms, one ఇంత సోదొద్దు ఒక సెంటెన్స్ లో చెప్పండి అంటే కరెంట్ అసెట్ అండ్ అసెట్ which can be converted into cash within one accounting cycle or operating cycle. As I told you earlier, we used to call it as accounting cycle. Now the nomenclature standard 1 tells use operating cycle. So within one accounting operating cycle or 12 months, whichever is higher. అందుకే కన్నా 14 months higher అని తీసుకున్నాము కరెంట్ అసెట్. So whichever is higher is what a current asset is in one line. More lines కావాలంటే with the standard 1. ఇది మనం రాసిన డెఫినేషన్ కాదు. Standard 1 ఇచ్చిన డెఫినేషన్ for current. What is that? 1, it expects to realize the asset or intends to sell or consume it in its normal operating cycle. Old books will give you accounting cycle. Anything meaningless, same, nothing to be confused. Accounting cycle or operating cycle is nothing but raw material converted into work in progress converted into finished goods being sold, that whatever you have sold, you get back your money. That is what is an operating cycle. Tarvata, it holds the asset primarily for the purpose of
trading.
అమ్మడానికే కదా. It is not a fixed asset which you use to convert your raw material into finished goods. Kaadu. Next, it expects to realize the asset normally. 100% కాదు. 12 months లో రావాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Normally, it expects to realize the asset within 12 months in that particular reporting period, 1st April to 31st March. The asset in cash or cash equivalent. మనం నెక్స్ట్ చదవబోయే స్టాండర్డ్ 7 లో the definition of what cash and cash equivalent will be given. So asset in cash or cash equivalent, unless the asset is restricted, 7 lo unnadi, it is treated as current asset. Isn't cash and cash equivalent is also a current asset? Unless there is a restriction to settle etc. A restriction atla emi lekapothe in normal circumstances it is called as a cash and a cash equivalent. Any other asset which does not qualify A, B, C, D is a non-current asset. రెండే classifications. Current, current ante any asset which can be converted into cash within one accounting cycle, operating cycle or 12 months, whichever is higher. Simple language. Simple language కాదు, accounting standard language అంటే 1, 2, 3, 4 points. What are the 4 points? First one is operating cycle. Second one is reporting period, 12 months. Third point is, second one is, 12 months. Second point is only for the purpose of trading. If it is not for trading, if it's for converting your raw material into finished good, then it does not qualify. అమ్మడానికైతేనే it is called as, it comes under the definition of current asset. Another one, the fourth one is cash and cash equivalent as given in standard 7. Just read this.
The limited producer grabs the length of time the purchase for a raw material to make the prescribed date. The company now invented the company has requirement for the paragraphs and outer
So question number 1, what is the length of the operating cycle?
9. See how it treated its inventory and
What is the length? Two questions ఉన్నాయి. A and B. What is the length of the operating cycle as per the case study which is there in front of you? 16. సరిగా చదవండి.
16 months.
చూడండి. See the definition. It expects to realize the asset or intends to sell or consume it in its normal operating cycle. What is an operating cycle? Purchase of goods or raw material, produce goods or raw material, sell goods or raw material, collect cash from customer. Malli paisal vastadi, malli raw material. This is what is an operating cycle or an accounting cycle is. So based on the definition of current asset, what is the definition? 4 important points. One is operating cycle. Second, trading purpose. Third,
12 months.
reporting period. Reporting period is 12 months. Converted into cash within 12 months. నాలుగోది cash and cash equivalent as given in Indian Accounting 7. ఇవన్నీ కలిపితే సో ఆ డెఫినేషన్ చూడండి. ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ ఏ పాయింట్ ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది.
The
A
length
point
of
ఏమంటుంది?
operating 16.
Need not always be 12 months. Point A tells operating cycle. Operating cycle of all the products need not be the same. For one product it may be 1 day, for one product it may be 1 minute, for one product it may be 1 year, for another product it may be 2 years. So whatever is your operating cycle for 12 months, whichever is higher, not lower. So దీని ప్రకారం what is the length of the operating cycle?
16 months.
9 months plus
7 months.
పైసలు కూడా రావాలి కదా క్యాష్. సో 7 months, 16 months. So how should it treat it inventory or debtors? The length of the operating cycle is 16 months. So when you are selling a aircraft, when you are selling that aircraft, no, even though it is 16 months, you will treat it as a current asset only. Vice versa for the other company. మన కరెంట్ అసెట్ అయితే వాళ్ళ కరెంట్ లయబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది వాళ్ళ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్. We are both companies, let us suppose. So in that particular case, for me it will be a current asset, for them it will be a current liability, even though it is exceeding 12 months. Even though it is exceeding 12 months, that at the MCOM level, after learning standard 1, that clarity you as a student should have. 12 months కాదు, 16 months ఉండొచ్చు, 18 months ఉండొచ్చు. So assuming the inventory and debtors will be realized with the normal operating cycle, that is 16 months. Both the inventory as well as both will be classified as current. Even though it is more than 12 months, it will be treated as a current asset only. If the other company which is buying is also a company, మనలాంటి individuals అయితే అవసరం లేదు, ఎందుకంటే మన కరెంట్ అసెట్ కరెంట్ లెవెల్ మన బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ ఉండవు కాబట్టి. If the other company, purchasing company, is also a company, in their books of accounts it will be a current liability, even though it is more than 12. మనం కొంటే మనం కస్టమర్స్ కాబట్టి మనకు అసెట్ లయబిలిటీ ఉంది కాబట్టి we can keep anything. So this is what is current asset and current liability is all about. Let us also learn what a current liability is. An entity shall classify a liability as current if any one, అది మిస్ అయింది, any one of the following condition is satisfied or fulfilled. Any one of the following condition is satisfied or fulfilled. సేమ్ వస్తుంది, అసెట్ ప్లేస్లో లయబిలిటీ వస్తుంది, పెద్ద డెఫినేషన్లో ఏమి డిఫరెన్స్ లేదు. చూడండి, ఇట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ టు సెటిల్ ద అసెట్ బదులు ఇక్కడ సెటిల్ ద లయబిలిటీ, అక్కడేమో రిసీవ్, అంతే. ఇక్కడేమో పేమెంట్, అక్కడేమో రిసీవ్. లయబిలిటీ ఇట్స్ నార్మల్, మళ్ళీ ఆపరేటింగ్ సైకిల్ వచ్చింది. ఇక్కడేమో లయబిలిటీ కాబట్టి సెటిల్, అక్కడేమో రిసీవ్. ఇట్ హోల్డ్స్ ద లయబిలిటీ ప్రైమరీలీ ఫర్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ట్రేడింగ్, అక్కడ కూడా ట్రేడింగ్ పర్పసే. థర్డ్, లయబిలిటీ ఇస్ డ్యూ, మళ్ళీ సేమ్. ఇక్కడేమో ఇక్కడ లయబిలిటీ డ్యూ, అక్కడేమో అసెట్ టు బి రిసీవ్డ్, అంతే కదా. విదిన్ అ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ 12 months, దట్ ఈస్ అ రిపోర్టింగ్ పీరియడ్. ఇట్ డస్ నాట్, ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే అక్కడేమో క్యాష్ ఫ్లో, క్యాష్ అండ్ క్యాష్ ఈక్వివలెంట్స్ వచ్చింది. ఇక్కడేమో డస్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ అన్ అన్కండిషనల్ రైట్ టు డిఫర్ సెటిల్మెంట్, unconditional right to defer settlement of the liability for at least 12 months after the reporting period. So defer చేసే రైట్ లేనప్పుడు it is called as a current liability. Any other thing other than these four conditions is a non-current. Current liabilities are classified into three: current liabilities, non-current liabilities, and equity. ఇప్పుడు ఇదైతే క్లియర్ కదా. స్టేట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ లాస్ అకౌంట్ షాల్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఇన్ అడిషన్ టు ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ లాస్ అకౌంట్ అండ్ అదర్ కాంప్రిహెన్సివ్ ఇన్కమ్ సెక్షన్ 1 ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ లాస్. We'll talk about this OCI later on. Already in 20 minutes extend educational class. Total other comprehensive income and we will talk about this later in the next. OCI is an important oka nimsham cover. Then disclosure. Significant accounting policies, the measurement, the other accounting policies used. All these are the disclosures of accounting. So this is what you will discuss. All account, in simple terms, all the notes to accounts. All disclosures, what you learn in the different sections, will be disclosed in standard 1. So this is what the summary of Indian accounting standards. Tomorrow when we meet, we will learn standard 2, recognition, measurement and presentation and
మొత్తం ఆఫ్ చేశాను అంటే కవిత గారు వస్తారు.
తెలియదు నాకు, మామూలుగా అయితే తొమ్మిది చూస్తుంది, అందరం తర్వాత ఆఫ్ చేస్తాం. అది ఆన్ చేయాలని. So if you have any doubts in standard 1, you can, OCI we will discuss when we come in the next class. So clear standard.
It is extending above.
You are talking about the current asset and the current liability.
It is extending post 12 months. So how does it realize that?
Simple. You have to first, how do you realize this? First question you have to ask yourself, that is yourself and your company, is what is the period of your operating cycle? Every company will know what the period of its operating cycle is. ప్రతి కంపెనీకి ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక అలమనాకి 90 days, మీ సిలబస్ 6 to 5 చాప్టర్ అట్లా మాకు తెలుసు కదా. అట్లా ద కంపెనీ విల్ నో ఫర్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ప్రోడక్ట్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఆపరేటింగ్ సైకిల్ 100%. So based on the operating cycle, you will decide, can it exceed 12 months or not. That is why a current asset or a current liability are those items which can be, which you receive or which you pay within one accounting cycle or operating cycle or 1 year, that is 12 months, which is higher. And now you have to decide whether it is current or not based on your operating cycle. I think.
So I measure entry in that period.
You have to treat it as a current asset. See, simple. Your balance sheet is divided into, your asset side is divided into 2 parts, current asset and non-current. మీకు అది ఎక్కడ వేయాలి, ఆ మెషినరీ ఎక్కడ వేయాలన్న క్వశ్చన్ వస్తుంది. The amount what you got, where you have to put, is it in the current or non-current? So you will decide based on the operating cycle, will you treat it as a current or a non-current. ఏ హెడ్ లో వేయాలనేది డిసైడ్ చేయడానికి.
ప్రాసెస్ మధ్యలో ఉన్నది.
ఆపరేటింగ్ సైకిలే కదా, అప్పుడు ఇన్వెంటరీ, అందుకే కదా ఇన్వెంటరీ వచ్చింది. ఇన్వెంటరీ ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ చెక్ ద కేస్ స్టడీ, దాంట్లో రెండు ఉన్నాయి. వాట్ వాస్ దోస్ టూ ఐటమ్స్? వన్ వాజ్ ఇన్వెంటరీ, కరెంట్ అసెట్ కాదు అది వచ్చింది, మెషినరీకి వచ్చింది అది ఎయిర్ క్రాఫ్ట్. వాట్ వర్ ద టూ ఐటమ్స్ విచ్ సొల్యూషన్ గేవ్స్? ఇన్వెంటరీ ఆర్ డేటాస్. ఎందుకంటే అసెట్ కాదు, లయబిలిటీ అయితే ఇన్వెంటరీ రాదు, బిల్స్ పేయబుల్ ఆఫ్ క్రెడిటర్స్. ఇది అసెట్ కాబట్టి అక్కడ ఇన్వెంటరీలో వెళ్ళాలా, అమ్మితే న్యాచురల్ గా డేటాస్ వస్తాయి. క్యాష్ వచ్చేస్తే క్యాష్ లో క్యాష్ అండ్ క్యాష్ ఈక్వలెంట్ లో వెళ్ళిపోతుంది కదా, సింపుల్. మూడు సిచ్యుయేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. రా మెటీరియల్ ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ రా మెటీరియల్ అయినా ఇన్వెంటరీకి వెళ్ళాలి, ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ఇన్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ అయినా ఇన్వెంటరీకి వెళ్ళాలి, ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ ఫినిష్ గూడ్స్ అయినా ఇన్వెంటరీకి వెళ్ళాలి. ఆ ఫినిష్ గూడ్స్ అమ్మేసినాం అనుకోండి, ఇన్వెంటరీ నుంచి డేటాస్కి వెళ్ళాలి. క్యాష్ అనుకోండి, క్యాష్ అండ్ క్యాష్ ఈక్వలెంట్ లో వచ్చేస్తుంది. Is there any doubt clear with standard 1? This is just an overview. Just akkada konni points touch chesam. Standard 1 is much bigger than what we have learned today. Tomorrow we will adi anukuntune unnanu. Ayipindi apesh. Standard 2 is tomorrow. Ayipindi. Continue.